He joined Hilton Chennai as a Director of Operations by January 2016 and was made the officiating General Manager of the property. He was promoted within Hilton as the General Manager for the DoubleTree Suites by Hilton Bangalore. Under his leadership, the hotel achieved a new benchmark in revenue, guest satisfaction, and employee satisfaction. Due to his achievements, he was transferred as the general manager to the flagship property of the Hilton Chennai. And I presume, like Ruben is already taking and leading Hilton Chennai for close to 2 years at Hilton, very, very, very successfully. So welcome aboard the IIHM Forum out here, Ruben. We're extremely happy and glad to welcome you. I'm Sanchari Chaudhary, ladies and gentlemen, of course, reporting live from Bangalore and, of course, the IIHM Career Studio. And before we go ahead and progress with Ruben, we would like to basically invite my other, of course, our chairman, Dr. Bose, in case if sir has already logged in for the session. It would be incredible for him to welcome Ruben along with my other directors from the other regions. So do we have sir here? Dr. Bose, are you here? Okay, sir has not joined yet. He would be joining. So do we have our other campus directors from the other regions who's here right now? Not yet. They're all joining. Okay, so Ruben, what we'll do is we'll start with a conversation with you. And in midst of it, once they're all joining, we will definitely basically going ahead and having a conversation between them and you. So welcome aboard, Ruben. Thank you so much for being here today. And as you understand, we all have a fresh batch of students, our new first years, who have in fact joined in from every part of the country, from every campus city. And they're watching you today live on Zoom as well as on Facebook. So thank you so much for joining in. And we start this session with your journey.
Thank you so much, Sanchari. It is always a pleasure to interact with you and hear so many nice things about oneself. So thank you so much for doing it so proficiently. First of all, I congratulate all the students for seeking to grow within the hospitality industry, and it is their welcoming ceremony. So I welcome you to the great hospitality industry, one of the oldest industry and time-tested, COVID-proof industry, I would say. So hospitality never sleeps or cannot be dead. So it cannot be, technology can be there to aid our work, but hospitality as a whole is there to stay. So congratulations to all the students for making this smart choice, and definitely to IIHM to invite me for this session. Thank you.
So Ruben, as we move ahead, the first thing that we would want to learn from your end, and I'm sure all the students are looking forward to, is about your expertise. How did your journey begin? How did you become a hospitality professional? And definitely, all your different experiences, good and bad experiences, that has made you what you are today, a wonderful general manager.
Sure. So it has been 18 years since I started my journey into the industry. I did my hotel management in 99 to 2002. And after that, I joined a company called Hyatt as a corporate trainee and worked there for close to 9 years. Different cities, obviously, Bombay, in Calcutta, Goa, and moved to Accor group. For 5 years, I worked with Accor, mostly with Hyderabad, managing their convention center, and Bombay, which is a very old property. Earlier, it was called Holiday Inn Juhu. Now it is called Novotel Mumbai. And then for the last 5 years with Hilton, definitely, as you rightly said, started here in Chennai, back to Bangalore, then back to Chennai. Yeah, so it's 18 years and great experience. Mostly I have worked in city hotels, resort hotels, luxury hotels, mid-scale, upscale, all kind of hotels. And mostly my specialization is within the country. I chose to work within, not to work outside. Not that I have not got my choices or chances, but I chose to stay within India. So it has been a great journey, and every day I learn. And it's a great industry. It gives you a lot of benefit, pecuniary benefit. Definitely, it gives you a chance to see new places, meet different people, and learn a lot. As Conrad Hilton would have said, great things can be achieved over a cup of coffee. So when you are having a cup of coffee with a guest who has come maybe halfway around the globe, um, and you understand his perspective, and he understands your perspective, and we make a conversation. This start of conversation can make great things. So yeah, I'm living this Conrad dream every day in Hilton, and I'm glad that I'm a hotelier.
Ruben, starting from the very beginning, when you got into the hoteliering, how was your experience as a student? The 3 years that you spent as a student, and, of course, when you were doing your hospitality. So, what was the experience for you like, and how were you as a student? What were the different challenges that you faced, which I'm sure would be, of course, very, very helpful for all our students here as they are, almost brimming with energy and getting into the new course?
Sure. So when I joined hotel management, it was back in 1999. So nobody knew those days much about hotel management as we are knowing through different various media and social media and everywhere. You are more informed. I was pretty much in hotels and hospitality, I would say partially by accident. And initial years were a little bit tough because it is not only study. Hotel management is a combination of study and skill. And so obviously you have to really work on a lot of on the job trainings, day trainings, industrial trainings, and whenever there are parties, etc., you have to go. So initially it's a little bit tough because it's all about hard labor, and you cannot sit and do these jobs. At the same time, it is very important that if I am learning to be into this trade, I know this hands on. If I do not know what a trainee goes through, then obviously I will not be kind or nice to him and see to it that like he gets the right method and right tool to do his job. So yeah, I took it in the positive spirit. Yeah, it was tiring, I would say, but it was a lot of fun as well. Hoteliers, because you are spending quite a lot of your day. It is not a regular study, right? It is mostly start with your practical classes, then your theory classes. So almost the entire day, like 9 to 6, you are in a campus. So you tend to get a lot more professional exposure. You by the time the 3 year passes, you have great friends, great, they become colleagues in future. And you are much more professionally groomed for this industry. So it helped me in that way. And obviously in hospitality, as you know, grooming, communication, these things, obviously coming from a middle class Bengali family, I was mostly going to colleges with in a chappal. So suddenly, when you go to IHM and you're wearing a black Oxford shoe with black socks and a white full sleeves shirt with buttons and a tie and a coat, maybe in second year or third year, the world changes for you, and changes for better, I would say, because it makes you uniform, makes you a more I would say smart to look, more professional in your approach. And obviously you tend to love yourself first, because if you don't love yourself, you will not be in a position to love others. So obviously you start taking care of yourself, your health, your grooming, your communication, and get ready for for this industry. Because in our industry, obviously you have to face the guest, so you have to be presentable at all times. And hotel management schools, I think, they really help us to do that. Why we are wearing a different uniform for a housekeeping, a different uniform for a kitchen, is because we want to play the role correctly. Role playing, the hospitality institute gives a great chance to play these roles within the campus. For example, an aeronautical engineer is not going to the airport to learn the shop floor. But in our case, our team members or our students are continuously playing those roles as if they are in the lab, within the institutes and within the training hotels. As good as it gets, as real as it can get, they get that exposure. So yeah, overall, it gives you a great platform to be ready for facing the industry. And obviously, I feel that these 3 years, the idea should not be where should I get a job, whether it will be abroad, whether it will be cruise, whether it will be somewhere in US or somewhere in India. I think those things can come later on. I think the curriculum is great. At the same time, there are too many things to learn. So I think the focus should be on learning. You are still a student, so the focus should be on being a student and learn the trade as much as you can, because this is the only time perhaps you will learn it so formally. Otherwise, in throughout the career, you will have learning, but those are not substituted by this learning. This is the like a base foundation, I would say. So yeah, that is in a gist. What are the things which I faced and I carried along when I was a student, and that's my perspective of things.
Right. Ruben, once you basically graduated and became a professional, I'm sure you've had your own ups and downs, a lot of challenges that you, in fact, had, moments when you basically thought that, whether the industry is right for you or not, like many basically students face and even professional face. So we would like to know about Ruben, some such moments, both good as well as those challenging moments, which made you very strong and made you a great professional that you are today.
Yeah, your video. Yeah. Now it's
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
yeah, sure. I told you this story earlier in one forum, but I want to repeat it to you again.
Yes.
So I was actually in doing my industrial training at the Park, Calcutta,
Mm-hmm.
back in 2000. Back in 2000, yes, it was a summer batch, awfully hot day, and I went. I was working in a stewarding, so mostly spending in pod wash for the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning and scrubbing the utensils of the banquet kitchen. So it was a very tough day, and banquet was really busy. And the second shift team members did not turn up, so I ended up doing two shifts. So I started at 7 o'clock and I finished only at 12 o'clock at night. And I came back to my home, and my mom used to generally remain awake. It was a habit that like she will open the door when I come. So she opened the door and I started eating dinner because I was so tired I could not eat dinner at the hotel. And I said, see, I feel that it's not my cup of tea, and let me quit, and do a regular CA or something, because I was already doing my graduation. So my mom said that, see, since you have started, and these are the part and parcel of the study. This industrial training is probably given to you to expose yourself in the with the hard truths of the industry. That there will be some amount of labor which all of you has to go through. So you finish that and then you decide. So reluctantly I went, but I gave it a try. And yeah, obviously the first day it was so difficult that the other days when you are doing only one shift, it was nothing for you. So there are ups and downs, challenges are there, in hospitality as well as any other industry, not only in hospitality. I think we have to learn and combat with an open mind. Everywhere we are in a situation of combat, right? We are in a business space. There is competition all along. When we are getting a job, we are facing competition from our students. When you're giving a campus, when these people are in a campus interview, they were competing to get a seat. Then there will be a campus interview for their job, and then when they go to when you go to a hotel, then obviously, if you're a restaurant manager, you have to fight with all the restaurants to get your revenue. So there is a lot of competition all around, and some days are good and some days are bad. Yeah, we will celebrate this small success in life, not wait for India to win the World Cup. or Ruban to become the general manager for or the vice president of Hilton, probably it will not happen. So I believe in small successes. Every day we have these small successes which I try to celebrate with me and within my team, so that I get motivated and I draw motivation from these smaller successes, like putting a smile to a guest, or helping a colleague, or attending a training program, and training a team member. So these are smaller successes rather than eyeing for a big fish which can or cannot, may or may not be caught, or it will be a once in a lifetime moments, because then it is tough. Everybody should have career goals. So I think everybody should make their goals in steps. It should not be that I want to become a general manager. I never had a goal of becoming a general manager. It happened. My goal was to study in IIHM and do the 3 years with decent marks and scores, and then probably get a job. And then when you get a job, you set your target, you shift your targets from time to time. It's very important. You cannot have your target static. It is like a bunch of strategies. So based on how you are doing, you need to change your target and move it slowly, and that's how you achieve whatever you want to achieve. There is no end to it. Okay. But yeah, draw success from the smaller things in life rather than, for example, right now the batch who's looking at us, I think they are very successful because they are the students of one of the best hotel management college in India. Not only in India, you have in Southeast Asia, and you have IIHM in the Middle East. So it's an international institute. It's a great institute with a lot of bandwidth, with a lot of connection with the industry. So to even get into a platform where you will be studying from this college is in itself a success. So cherish these welcome notes, and do well for the coming 3 or 4 years, is what I have to say.
Lovely, Ruben. That was really inspirational. Ruben, I would like to now go ahead and, of course, have the questions opening. A lot of students have, in fact, put across the Q&A. But then before that, I can see my amazing colleagues, my counterparts from the different campuses who have joined in right now. I can see Mr. Emmanuel, who is the campus director of Hyderabad, and also Reena ma'am, who has joined from Jaipur, the campus director there. So I would want them to basically come into the forum, welcome you, and definitely ask any questions if they have. So firstly, over to Emmanuel. Oh, grand welcome to him, to welcome Ruben, and definitely go ahead with any question.
Thank you so much, Sanchari ma'am and Mr. Ruben. Very good afternoon. And, it's always pleasure and our honor having you in this platform, for interacting and talking with our students. And our students are very fortunate to have you here today. And Mr. Ruben, and I was listening to you, the very motivational it was, very inspirational. Just I have one question, so general questions the students will have. When you are a general manager and you always go for the recruitment, recruiting the student, the hospitality graduate. So what do you expect from a student when you go there, the some
Well,
essential quality? Yes, over to you, Mr. Ruben.
see, for me, I think the best part is that I look at a student, what is like, what should be his attitude, how is he groomed, how has he cope up with his studies in the last 3 years, what is his extracurricular activity. I'm not, it's personally, I am not too much on the technical rounds. And it depends on hotel to hotel. Like in Hilton, for example, we are guided by certain norms, where we say that when you assess a student, you should assess the behavioral pattern, whether he's exhibiting certain leadership qualities in his work, or certain basic competencies, whether that student is having those basic competencies. Also, like communication, grooming, punctuality. These are basic, adaptability. These are certain basic competency. And in leadership competency, teamwork, integrity, how one coordinate and cooperate, how one manage things. So these things are something which we. These things are something which we try to see. I personally don't think that if you can say 5 types of French wines, you will be a F&B manager, because I don't believe in much in technical knowledge. I think that limits the choice. I would like to give my students a little bit more choice. So I would rather go for his attitude. If he has a good attitude to learn and grow and understand himself better, then the job is easy for me. So I think I would go behavioral rather than technical. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, Mr. Ruban. And thank you so much. And, so I've been, so many times to Hilton, Chennai, because I'm from Tamil Nadu, but I
No.
couldn't get a chance to meet you. But definitely next time when I, get in, I will try to meet you, Mr. Ruban. Thank
sir.
you. And over to Sanchari ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ivan. That was a wonderful question. Thank you so much, Ruban, for answering that so beautifully. And now I would like to call my colleague from Jaipur, our campus director from Jaipur, Ms. Reena Chaturvedi, who is here. Reena ma'am, are you here? Ms. Reena?
I'm having issues with my video.
Okay.
Can I come in
Yes.
a bit? I'm waiting for the IT person to do something.
Absolutely, but then we
Just
can
give me
hear
a
you
few
very
moments.
well.
Yes, just a few moments.
Sure. Yes, here you are. We can see you. Reena ma'am, you need to unmute yourself. Yes, now it's fine. I can.
Going to be doing both the things together. Thank you so much, Mr. Ruban. It's really indeed been a wonderful session. Very intriguing to know your story and all the little bits that you've told the students. It's been a great learning for them. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Sanchari ma'am, for this wonderful opportunity for all our students.
Thank you so much, Reena ma'am. And Ruben, now I would like to go ahead and take quite a lot of questions, which has in fact come for you already. So I'll start with the Q&A with you. All right, so let me just go through it. Okay, so the first question would be, of course, very interesting, something which you have already, I think, spoken about, but then maybe you can just give a little bit more intricate details. Deepak is basically asking, good afternoon, sir. What personality do we need to develop as a hotelier?
Well, I think you will be in a great position to answer because you manage so many general managers. But I think you should be outgoing. You should be an extrovert. This is an industry where being an extrovert is not problematic. You should be, communicative. You should communicate enough. And other traits of personality, obviously, you have to develop some leadership competency, which will come definitely. The course is designed to make you. Apart from the practical side of the studies, there are a lot of management studies which will impart the qualities of being a leader. Management studies are very important. So these are some of the traits which I would say a hotel management student should carry once he starts the course. Yes.
Right. Thank you so much, Ruben. I'll go to the next question now. And this is from our student from Hyderabad, Shubho, who is asking, good afternoon, sir. In your opinion, how do you think one should face a stressful situation and be spontaneous enough to deal with dilemmatic situations?
Second part is spontaneous to deal with?
Yes, spontaneous enough to deal with dilemmatic situations. Dilemma.
Okay, dilemmatic situation. Okay. Yeah, there is no one size fits all to this answer. Every situation which is causing stress is unique. But yes, there are certain rules, of management to deal with these things. I can recall one such rule is in Hilton we call 5 A's. which is obviously first accept. That means you listen. Acquire, when you basically get the message out of the listening. And acknowledge, where you basically understand the problem and communicate the same to the person who's telling you the problem. Apart from that, apologize if the situation demands to apology. If the situation demands apologizing, then you apologize on behalf of your organization for any stressful situation a person has gone through. And the last one is obviously follow up. So these are the five steps in how you deal with the problem. So again, I will tell you just for your knowledge. First one is acquire. Second one is accept. Third one is acknowledge. Fourth one is apologize. And fifth one is to follow up. Because often in a situation, you are a first point of contact where a guest is telling you a problem, but maybe it will be dealt at a regional level, or at a level which is not at your level. But it is always good to follow up, because the guest has known you and given you the problems to deal with. So this is one methodology which we actually commonly use in the hotels to face different kind of problems. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Ruben, there's a very interesting question from a student in Pune, Shrishti. She's asking, so why did you choose the hospitality industry as your career?
Well, I said that it was partly by accident. The question, the answer is slightly funny. So where I used to stay in Kolkata, my landlord used to run a very good catering business. It was called Continental Catering Service. So he was quite good in catering. And I used to love to eat all these fish fries and other, snacks which he used to prepare. So whenever there was a catering event happening, I used to volunteer myself to cook or to chop vegetables or to do something. And in return, I would used to go with the team to do the service in the wedding or in a other social event. And I seem to really enjoy the goodies which comes in my way. So but back of the mind, I always probably wanted to do something in informal. I never wanted to do something which can be done formally. And this also gives you a scope to become an entrepreneur someday. A hotel management student has its options open, whether to be a good entrepreneur by opening something of your own someday, or to work for a company. So I wanted to do the latter at some point of my life. So I was pretty sure that I would do something informal, and which will help me to do something of my own at the later part. So that's the reason I would say I have chosen this.
Lovely. Yeah. In fact, Ruben, so beautifully you've mentioned about the entrepreneurship, instinct in students. And, if you remember, we've had a chat, last time where I was actually mentioning that especially during the pandemic season, and that's where, our chairman, Dr. Bose, he came up with this brilliant idea and initiative of, opening up Sahas, courage. And Sahas was basically an initiative which we launched globally, wherein we are giving an opportunity to our own students, hospitality students, to also go ahead and take up entrepreneurship as a career choice. And it's not just all, apart from guiding them across India and also globally, Ruben, we are also having a seed fund of 5 crores as a start, and we are only going ahead and expanding it. So how do you feel about it, Ruben? How do you basically think about the entrepreneurship culture and initiative that IIHM has gone ahead and, instigated right now?
Yeah, I think Dr. Bose is a pioneer in many things. So, he is a great innovator. He has really branded our industry, which is great. And it is also IIHM is an umbrella brand to do many things in hospitality. So coming from him, it is no surprise. It's a brilliant initiative to fund, and to inculcate the spirit of entrepreneurship, and also to have a funding for the appropriate entrepreneur to utilize that or channelize that fund. But obviously the platform which you are providing for the student to even the guidance, etc., is very good, and I think it's in the right direction given an uncertain situation we are all in currently. I think there is always a requirement of a plan B at every state. So yes, if some kind of spirit is built within, I think, and there's a formal way to do it through IIHM, I think it's in the right direction. So congratulations to Dr. Bose and all of you for this brilliant idea, as always.
Thank you so much, Ruben. That was really nice. Ruben, I would like to now take some very nice questions because we're almost nearing to the end of the session, and I know how busy you are. And I'm so grateful that out of your, entire, you can say your own work today, you've been able to give us this time. That's really, really nice.
Thank you.
So I would be now coming to the point and taking some more questions. One would be a student from Pune, Deepak is asking, sir, what should a student do besides studies to be good at connecting new people in a much better way, which could help us in connecting the guest in a personal level than an employee?
Well, it has two parts to the question. What you should do in order to connect. That's the first part. And second part, what you should do other than to connect. Well, to connect, obviously, you have to be genuine. Okay. Today, travelers are all around, traveling around the globe. It's not only a section of people, but anybody can travel. And with the post-pandemic, I would say there will be a travel explosion where you will see a lot of traveling from all classes of people. So when a person comes to a hotel, the interaction of a hospitality professional, he tries to get genuinity of information, genuinity of services, and an open, I would say, openness in communication. It should not be political. It should not be diplomatic. It should not be to the point. It should not be curt. But it should be, in a way that we are in a hospitality industry. So there is a way to say things. Even a no should not be say no. There has to be some kind of an effort over and above every action we do. In that way, if the guest can feel that, there is no science. It's not a science. Management is a combination of art and science. And building bridges or connecting with people is an art. You need to study that person. You need to see what he likes, and you need to be genuine, and you need to put some effort. It should not be plastic. It should not be made up, because that is caught very, very easily. Secondly, when you say friendly or connected, I am a little bit concerned. The second part of the question is what else? See, we are in a business space. So we can be friendly to a guest, but we are not a guest's friend. There is a difference between being a friend to a guest and being friendly to a guest. I would always advocate for being friendly, but always you should have the professional distance maintained, because your space of interaction is professional. If somebody is acting overt friendly, you should be creating that space in between. And this is something for a new student also. When you're going to hotels first time, second time, if somebody is too friendly to you, and you don't know why, then there should be red flags, because it's a professional space. Everything should be professional. Secondly, also another point, since Sanchari has brought in this point, I would like to say, um, language communication. We are having a smartphone, and we can have the world at your hand or at your palm. But when you are communicating within a professional space, because see, you are in a professional institute right now. You are in a management institute, which is for the study of professional courses. You are not in a regular BCom college or anything which is regular. So there will be certain ethics and values you all should carry, and something of it is languages. Like for example, when you are exchanging text messages, make sure that it does not contain any profanity, it does not contain any vulgar contents or something, because now what happens from a college, maybe at the college level also you're doing it, but the moment you go to a hotel or a workplace, it will amount to harassment. So, you have to be very, very careful in being, to stay connected with a client. You have to maintain that professional space and stay connected. So it's an art. It's an art. Thank you.
Ruben, you're so right, because what you actually touched upon right now on the mental grooming and etiquette, it is something I think very, very essential for students to understand, especially at this point of time when they are almost on the onset of, beginning their curriculum and, being a hospitality student, and then their next journey begins as a professional. So I think courtesy, and while in the world of mobile technology now, and of course with technology gripping us completely, and of course running us, I think it's very important that we are absolutely equipped with the right etiquette system of even messaging someone, how to be articulate and definitely be professional. Whether it's a WhatsApp message or any kind of online forum, I think what you said right now is absolutely important, and everybody should make a note of it, because going further, with the virtual world and definitely as a part of blended learning, it is extremely essential for students to understand that it will be one of the most important criteria for them getting selected tomorrow, by someone like you. Like tomorrow, you will be the one who will be across the table, as definitely you're as an employer, coming across, and of course having our students. It is very essential coming from you, that they note down on this very important factors of being a great professional. So that's lovely, Ruben. Thank you so much for, even though it was a very small time that we've had with you today because of your other, work. And I'm so thankful, we are very, very thankful that you could give us this time today for all our students. But still, such important information, and definitely you can say learning, a grip that you've given to all our students. I'm sure it's going to be there etched in the minds of each one of the students very well. And this is not going to be only time. There would be, of course, a lot of moments when we'll be seeing, and maybe even in person, where we can actually have you for another session for the next students, on different other things that we can actually commemorate. So before we go ahead and, of course, exit the session today, one message, from your end to all our IIHM students, especially the new students across the country.
Yeah, sure. So as Sanchari rightly says, it gives you a lot of opportunity. It's a great seat of learning. So spend your time in the institute, and make it worthwhile for your career. The institute from time to time maintains a lot of connection with the industry. And we also always love to, interact with you, because you are the fresh blood, and we would like to seek a lot of motivation and energy from you. When I see a lot of people still coming to hospitality industry, I see a lot of hope and gleam about our industry. So congratulations to be a part of it as a student. Stay well, have your learnings, continuous learnings, attend these sessions, seminars. It's not only books, but yeah, it's a blended learning, as you rightly said. And we will definitely meet in some forum, and we would love to interact with you face to face. Normally IHM also does a lot of face to face interaction, which I know and I was happy to be a part of earlier. And I'm sure we will do it, I think, a little while from now, that this COVID menace be a little bit in control, and definitely we will have more sessions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ruben. From the entire team IIHM, from all my other directors, myself, my team, and definitely Dr. Bose, Thank you very much for this very enlightening session. And we hope to see you very soon. Please look after yourself. Please stay safe and definitely take care. And we shall be seeing you very, very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Pleasure. Bye.
Right. Bye, Ruban. And students,
Bye.
thank you so much for joining us today. And I really hope that you'll be connecting with Ruban, sir, on his social profiles. Do follow him. And, I'm certain if you have any other questions in relation to this particular session today, do write back to your campus directors and all of us. We will definitely be putting it across to him and answering those questions for you. So don't worry about it. Thank you so much for joining. And now you can all log out for your own campus sessions. I'm sure all of you would be having across in your own campuses. Please go ahead and do that. Thank you, students.